Sadiq Khan is a loser. Because when you have a city which is losing, which London is losing in all metrics across its competitive cities around the world, and you're in charge of it, by extension, you're a loser.
Andrew Tate takes aim at Sadiq Khan in fiery online exchange. Here's what happened. Okay, this one got people talking. When Andrew Tate opens his mouth online, you already know it's not going to be polite, it's going to be loud, direct, and designed to light up every corner of social media. But this time, it wasn't just a random rant or clickbait comment. This time, his words were aimed straight at London's Mayor Sadiq Khan. And what followed? A viral storm that mixed politics, personality, and pure internet chaos. Let's break down exactly what happened and why this clash between two of the most controversial public figures in Britain right now says a lot about where the country's political mood really is. So, it all started with a clip. A short, 20-second moment that exploded across X, TikTok, and YouTube within hours. Andrew Tate, known for his brash style and love of online confrontation, responded to comments made by Sadiq Khan during a discussion about social media influence and public safety. Khan had been speaking on a BBC program about the growing risks of toxic online content, especially from figures with massive followings. He didn't name names directly, but his tone made it clear who he was talking about. When a journalist brought up Tate's name, the room shifted. Khan said something along the lines of, "When influencers push messages that glorify wealth, dominance, or disrespect toward women, it affects the mindset of young men across the city. We've got to take that seriously." Now, that might sound like standard political messaging, calm, measured, civic-minded. But for Andrew Tate, it was personal. Within hours, Tate fired back online. He posted a video, the kind of sharp, tightly edited response that his followers eat up instantly. Sitting in his trademark suit, speaking directly into the camera, Tate said something that instantly became the soundbite of the day. Sadiq Khan wants to talk about leadership? He couldn't even run a coffee shop, let alone a city. And there it was, the line that lit up social media like wildfire. The crowd went wild. Supporters flooded his comments, calling it legendary, brutal, and pure Tate energy. But just as many fired back, accusing him of taking cheap shots instead of addressing the issue. One Londoner commented, "We've got real problems in this city: knife crime, housing, public transport. Turning it into a meme war helps no one." Another replied, "Say what you want about Tate, at least he's not scared to challenge politicians who think they're untouchable." And just like that, the internet split right down the middle. Now, here's where things get interesting. Because this wasn't just about a personal dig, it's about influence. Andrew Tate, whether people like him or not, commands one of the largest male-dominated audiences on the internet. Millions of young men follow him, quote him, mimic his style, even shape their opinions based on what he says. And Sadiq Khan, as London's mayor, represents the establishment: authority, regulation, and social responsibility. So when those two worlds collide, raw, unfiltered digital influence versus controlled, polished political messaging, sparks are inevitable. Political analyst James Harding said in an interview, "What we're seeing here isn't a feud, it's a generational clash." Tate speaks directly to online culture, while Khan speaks to institutions. They're operating on completely different frequencies. That's exactly it. Khan's message was about protecting the public. Tate's message was about personal independence. And somewhere in between, millions of people are deciding who they believe speaks for them. Now, the reaction from the political world came fast. A spokesperson from City Hall said, "The mayor will not be drawn into personal back-and-forths online. His focus remains on keeping London safe and tackling misinformation that harms communities." Translation: he's not taking the bait. But even that comment couldn't stop the narrative from snowballing. Within 24 hours, major media outlets were running headlines like, "Andrew Tate goes after Sadiq Khan in viral rant," and "Tate and Khan clash over influence and accountability." On TikTok, remix videos of Tate's coffee shop line racked up millions of views, often spliced with clips of London traffic, empty storefronts, or protest scenes. It became more than a quote. It became a symbol of frustration, real or exaggerated, with the state of London's politics. Let's be real though. Behind the noise, there's something deeper happening here. For years now, British politics has been struggling with relevance, trying to figure out how to communicate with a generation that doesn't watch parliament debates, doesn't read the Times, but will spend 3 hours a day scrolling TikTok. And Tate, for all his controversy, understands that better than most politicians do. He knows how to turn a message into a movement, how to trigger reaction, emotion, and debate instantly. Even if his approach is blunt, it's effective. Khan, by contrast, operates in a system where words are measured, cautious, polished. That works in press briefings, but it doesn't always work on the internet. As one BBC commentator put it, the problem isn't that politicians are losing arguments, it's that they're losing attention. And that's the battlefield Tate thrives on. Now, does that mean Andrew Tate won this exchange? Not necessarily. Public opinion is divided. Critics say he crossed a line, that mocking a city leader during serious discussions trivializes important issues. Supporters say it's long overdue, that politicians should be challenged publicly, even brutally, if they're seen as out of touch. The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Because while Khan represents the official, structured voice of power, Tate represents the unpredictable, emotional voice of the crowd. And that contrast is what makes moments like this go viral. So, what happens next? Will Sadiq Khan ignore it and move on? Or could this spark a wider conversation about influence, masculinity, and politics in the digital age? Because make no mistake, this clash isn't really about coffee shops or insults. It's about who controls the conversation in 2025, the politician or the influencer. And as one political writer put it perfectly, Tate might never run for office, but he's already shaping how millions think about those who do. That's the real story here. And right now, that voice belongs to the man who just turned a mayor's comment into the headline of the week.